So at what point were you and Byron maybe aware of each of your guys' respective sack totals or I don't know if you were at any point or not, and I guess what's that been like kind of having a teammate that you've been able to, chase those totals with?
Yeah, we haven't talked about it a ton, before the game, but I think we both definitely check in after the games and see kind of where we stack up. It's a good little healthy competition. Byron's my guy, and I wish all the best for him, and he's been killing it so far, and I'm super excited to just be his teammate, get to know him, the man he is, and I know he's excited, for me as well. So it's really cool to be able to chase after that goal, with a really good friend and keep going back and forth. I saw some of the tweets from last night. I didn't know that we had exchanged places again and again, but it's certainly cool, chasing after that sack record with Byron.
And obviously you mentioned the sack record. You tied Aaron Donald's franchise rookie record for sacks in yesterday's game. In the context of maybe goals you had for yourself this year or what have you, what does a milestone like that mean to you personally?
It means a lot. Before this year, I didn't really set out any numerical goals. My main goals were to stay in this present moment and attack each day with the type of mindset that's going to lead to my success. And I think that I have done that so far, and that's what's kind of led to this level of success. But it's definitely insane to even be in the same conversation as him. And of course, he attracts a lot of attention. He is the greatest to ever do it. So there's a lot that goes to it for there as well. But it's just a blessing, man. And it's just, again, just continue to take it day by day. The same process that has gotten me to this point, which still isn't anywhere yet. I still have so much left to do. And I'm excited to keep working and keep growing because there's so much that I have, untapped potential that I have to continue to expand upon. But um, taking that same exact process and just replicating it going into this next week.
And then lastly, for me, Aaron obviously was very vocal this morning about how he feels about your defensive rookie of the year candidacy. You and you and Puka are obviously in those conversations as potential candidates for those awards. I asked him the same question earlier. What's that like for you? Not only just being in that conversation, but also having another teammate who's part of that as well.
Yeah, being able to see Puka succeed, from week one has been, one of the greatest joys that I've had this season. And being able to see him come into the facility and be the same guy every day, still be lighthearted, still, just love the game, just be a good guy. That's been amazing. So to watch him get the recognition that he deserves, and he really does deserve it all, man. It's been, super amazing to see that happen. So I'm excited for him to hopefully win Offensive Rookie of the Year because he definitely deserves it. He's put together a worthy campaign for sure. And as for me, it's just however it goes. I definitely think that I have put in the work to put myself into the conversation. But that's not for me to decide, of course. All there is for me to do is just keep working, take it each day by day, and just put out tape that's gonna make it, not questionable that that's where I should be. So I don't have any say as far as I should be this, I should be that. What I know that I should be doing is getting right back to work, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do throughout this next week, and now throughout the next week after that as well. So.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Jordan.
Hey, Kobie. Obviously you're racking up the numbers here, especially second half of the season. And but all we keep hearing from coaches and teammates about you is that you're refreshingly secure in yourself, and you are yourself. You've had success now, and you guys are a playoff team. And how have you been able to stay, I guess, true to yourself, or kind of just stay focused on being authentically you?
Yeah, I just feel like that's what life is about. Just going through all of these experiences, staying in this present moment. And I realize that all of this is just a blessing, man. And I've of course worked for this. All of my teammates have worked to put ourselves in this position. But just taking every day as a blessing, like it's just a blessing to wake up. It's a blessing to be able to come to work, to be in the NFL. But Also, it's a blessing to be a part of this organization with just a great group of coaches, players, all of the support staff, all of you guys as well. Just everybody is such a light to be around. And so that definitely makes it easier. But it's just about enjoying the life that you get, kind of get put in, that gets put in front of you. So I've definitely been taking it all in stride. And again, I'm just excited to keep living this life.
And then pivoting a little bit, wanted to ask you about Matthew Stafford. You know, I assume you watched him when you were younger on
Mhm.
TV and for a long time, and it seems like a lot of guys in this current locker room did. But in person, on the field specifically, and maybe between snaps, when did you notice what his specific flair is that he plays with? The arm angles, the looks, the throws, and then also some of the stuff he does and says between snaps.
Yeah, I think early on in the year, I kind of, because of course, you see all the highlights, but you don't see it up close in person. But there are some throws that he was making even in camp, when we're in some of our joint practices that Coach McVey would highlight, and I'm just like, wow, this is not real, but also this is practice. And then he just comes out first game of the season just slinging it, and he just keeps it going. And so, um, yeah, the dude is a legend. Matt is such a legend. And I think throughout this entire year too, I just feel a complete sense of calmness and peace whenever he's on the field. Like once we come off the field, I sit on the bench, like I'm kicking it, talking to Bobby, talking to AD, getting our corrections and everything. But I'm never on edge, like, is it gonna be a turnover? Is it gonna be this? Just because he manages the game well, he is just a all-star caliber player. He's just the GOAT. So and then he got a little swag to him when he puts in his guns in the holsters and stuff like that. And then I remember, I think it was a month or so ago, where Coach McVey was just detailing, he kind of shows us some of the film from the previous game that we would have played. And he says, you should never get tired of seeing good ball. But, everybody who's a fan, and as a fan growing up, you just see the big time throws or like people scramble around and making a big play. And that's really cool and all. But McVay was able to walk through. Matt saw something on the film, and he said, if we get this exact look, we're going to can out of it, get to something different. So the play comes up in the game. They have like some sort of duo play coming, and he sees the look. He says, we're going to can out of this. I know exactly what route's going to happen, exactly how it's going to work out. Hits Puka across the middle for a big gain. And when Coach McVay just explained that, and just the knowledge he has of the offense to be able to control everything like a head coach and still make all those throws, he's just the best. He's a guy.
That's awesome detail, Kobie. Are you able to remember what game that was now that it's all kind of over and done with?
It was a home game. I think we were wearing white jerseys. Puka had a big game that game, but I mean, Puka has a big game every week, so that's not very helpful.
Okay,
For
I'll follow up, but thank you very much. I appreciate you for all that detail.
sure.
Sarah.
Hey, I actually have another Matthew Stafford question. We've heard him described a lot as being a tough player, both physically and mentally. When you think about toughness in Matthew Stafford, what do you think about?
He's not coming out of the game unless he has to. And I just think of the complete control of the game. Like there's a lot of times mentally where something doesn't go your way. Like even being a young player, there's times early on in the year where one play doesn't go in your way and you start to spiral a little bit and it can get out of control and you have to really regroup. For him, it's just something happens. Okay, the next play. Like this is the look that they gave me. This is where I messed up at. Let's go get it back. And so I just feel like the ultimate confidence that he displays, and it ultimately leads to us having that ultimate confidence in him, to where it doesn't matter what has happened before, we know he's going to lead us to success.
And what does it mean to you knowing that he can pick you guys up, right? If you guys allow a touchdown, that he's coming back right out, and you don't have, like you said, you're not worried about what he's going to do.
Yeah, it means a lot. That's that complimentary football that I know that term gets thrown around a lot. But to me, that's picking each other up when they're down, and then also when you're hot, building off of each other. And so giving up, if we give up a big play or something like that and we're running off the field, like I know for a fact Matthew's coming back out and he has that mentality of they just scored, so we got to go and get it. We got to go and make up for that. So yeah, I just have the ultimate respect for that guy. That dude is he's a true competitor. And just the way that he handles his business is really admirable.
And then for you, I know you just said you didn't have any numerical goals before the season, but what goals, if any, did you set for yourself?
Yeah, it was mostly just staying in that present moment, taking everything in stride and making sure that I was mentally prepared at the start of each week to go and get after it. So how that kind of looks is being ready going into all of the practices or all of the film sessions, coming prepared so that I know exactly what I'm looking at. And when I look at it in the meeting room, it's like a refresher, or now it's starting to get locked into my brain so that when this look comes up in the game, I know exactly what's happening. I know which way to go. And then I think it also came down to one of my other goals being, building that confidence. And so I didn't know exactly what that would look like. Of course, with this being my first year, but I can definitely say that I've achieved that goal as well. I definitely felt like a rookie and played like a rookie in the start of the season, and now of course I still am, but I just see myself as a member of this team. And I just attack the work week. And I think that not that was different too much for how I was attacking it earlier on in the season, but just the confidence level that is built up over the course of the season has been incredible for me as well.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, and we'll wrap with Eric and then Lauren.
Hey, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it. What's it been like playing for Coach Henny, both from the start of off season in terms of your growth and development to where you are right now?
Yeah, it's been incredible. Coach Henny is I mean, I haven't been around a ton of D-line coaches, but just from what I see on tape, I would definitely feel that he is one of the best coaches around, if not the best. And the thing that stuck out to me right away that kind of clicked with me is the mental game that he plays, the cerebral ness of his approach to coaching and helping us learn ball, whether that be us having a plethora of adjustments, because he knows exactly what runs are going to come and how they're going to try to attack us, whether that be digging back into previous film to see how a future team is going to prepare for us. He knows what's coming, and so he's able to prepare us the right way. And me being the type of player that I am, where I am an above the net guy, a lot of that preparation comes into play on my play on Sundays. That's really helped me a ton to be able to know exactly what I should expect, and to know if I'm not getting the look that we're supposed to be expecting, then it's probably a pass or it's probably something different. But to trust my keys. And so that's allowed me to go out and play fast. That's allowed me to go out and play confident. I always feel, the most confident when I know exactly what's going on, when I know the looks that the other teams are presenting to me. And it gets to the point where now we're on the sideline talking if Bobby's in, and, we see the tight ends motion up and go across, and it's like, okay, they're sliding the front, they're trying to attack this way, or, however it looks. So he thoroughly prepares us to play the game. And then just his coaching style overall, he definitely connects with us as players, pushes us, motivates us, and he's down to earth. He's one of the guys, but he also knows how to push you when the time comes. And just the ultimate emphasis on technique and continuing to hone our craft each and every day. I think that makes him stand out, and I think that's why a lot of people have had success under him.
Thanks for that answer. Along those same lines, what's it like to play for a young coach like Sean McVey? And can you give me some kind of specific examples, I guess, where you're connecting to a younger head coach?
Mm-hmm. He's a big time energy guy. And I had talked about this, I think, a little earlier on in the year, but going back to even what I was talking about with Jordan, just about being your authentic self. He's a guy that allows you to do that. You don't have to put on some sort of mask when you come into the building. You can be yourself. You can approach the game the way that you approach it. There's a certain standard of greatness and excellence that he requires and that he holds us to. But he allows you to go about it in your own way. And I think that's huge. Like, even to the point where sometimes at practices, I'm dancing before the snap comes out, or I hit a crazy move or something like that. And nobody's on you about being so tight and clenched up. It's about be free, play fast, have fun. And I think that's one of the things that's really, united this team. And so Coach McVey is above. He is such a good coach. And again, I haven't been around a ton of them, but when you know, you know. And the way that he has motivated this team, the way that he has worked with all of us, and the way that he just continues to be that North Star, kind of leading us in the right direction, never getting ahead of himself, always fighting to stay in that present moment and fighting to keep this team in the present moment as well. He's just a special coach.
Cool. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Wrap with you, Lauren.
Hey, Kobie, two quick ones for you. First off, just curious, this is your rookie season, and though you've had a lot of success, you talk about a lot about preparation. And I'm just curious, is there anything that surprised you about the adjustment to, playing for this organization, the progression of this team, or just, your individual success?
I think before, you always look up to NFL guys, and that was always a dream of mine. I think one of the things that surprised me the most is that it doesn't even feel like I'm playing in the NFL right now. It just feels like I'm playing that next step of ball. And I think a huge part of that is, again, this organization, the joy that everybody brings, whether that be Coach McVey, whether that be Ra, whether that be our coaches, whether that be our players. It's just playing football. It's playing a game that you love. And I think that has a huge impact. And, I haven't really thought of I'm in the NFL or like I'm this, I'm that. It's just been go out and play the game that you love. So.
Awesome. And then just a quick follow-up. I'm just curious, has there been any like trash talk or banter with Aaron Donald with you kind of, on the verge of breaking the sack record in the locker room?
No, nothing really. We were trying to work a game and I wasn't fully on page, and that would have let me break it yesterday, I guess it was. But he's all for me. He's the ultimate competitor, and he also doesn't want guys around him who aren't dogs. He doesn't want anybody who's gonna, be right at the verge and not go for it. So no trash talk. Just, older brother type of vibes. And I know that he's super excited for me. I'm just super excited to be playing on the same field as him, much less be his teammate and be pushing, to break a record that he set. But it's all over on this way.